It's now 12 o'clock on this Friday. I'm Anne-Marie Tiernan, and we start today at 13 News at noon with breaking news. The news is coming from Hamilton County. That's where a judge now has decided to waive a teen driver accused in a fatal crash, a crash that killed a former HSE football player, to adult court. 18-year-old Mason Alexander is the person who died in that fiery crash, and it occurred back on March 1st. Now, because he's been waived to adult court, we can name and identify the driver and the suspect in the case as Trey Williams. Williams is 18 now, but he was 17 at the time of the crash. And in the hearing today, prosecutors argued that Williams has shown a history of drug and alcohol use both before and since that crash. But as attorneys say, that's irrelevant because drugs and alcohol were not factors in the wreck. Williams' attorney also says it's an example of teenage driver and that the driver should be kept in juvenile court.
We hope that the court does make the right decision because, as we see it, it was an adult act. So we want to make sure that justice is done, and that's just the first step. Mason meant a tremendous, he just meant the world to all of us, and we're speaking for him where he can.
The initial hearing for Williams is now set for Monday. If convicted as an adult, Williams could face up to 6 years in prison. We'll have more on this case as we gather more information about the developments from the courtroom starting on 13 News later today at 4. Matt Standards is here today. A pretty gloomy and soon to be even wetter Friday. Yeah. And you're tracking some storms that are expected to move in yet tonight.
I think after about 7 o'clock, that's when that next round will come in. So in the meantime, if you're lucky, you get some sun. If you're unlucky, you might get a quick shower. I can show you where the showers are right now with Live Doppler 13 and where we've really warmed things up, Anne-Marie. Some of us didn't get a raindrop at all. You got to go to the north for that, really north of Morris there towards Cicero and Kokomo. Good afternoon in Tipton and Lafayette. We're sitting in the upper 60s, knocking on the door of 70. You go farther south and east where we've had more clouds and more rain. We're still stuck in the 50s in Bartholomew County. A lot of 60s, low 60s to the east and to the south. We're going to work on those temperatures a little bit as some of these rain showers are exiting. But here's the story for the rest of the afternoon before 7 o'clock. Every once in a while, there could be a stray downpour. We've got one of these out towards about Brazil. Here's Clay County. A couple lightning strikes with that one. That's drifting off to the south and east. We've made a wind direction change. So now all our showers will go from northwest to southeast. We're still wrapping up some of that rain right around Bedford and Seymour. It's still coming down pretty good right now in Bedford and Lawrence County. The Owls and Seymour getting wet, and Brownstown as well, kind of up and down 65 south of Columbus. We have some of that rain. The Pirates are just now drying out in Greensburg, and a couple of leftover showers right around Brookville Lake. So we picked up some decent water, over a ½ inch for many of our southern counties. Kind of hit or miss closer to Indy, but a lot of us had enough water to at least wet the roads. Now the sun is coming back out. Enjoy some sun for a while. You can see the clear skies toward northwest Indiana. Here's that next rain chance, Anne-Marie. Coming up, we're going to time out this rain. We're going to let you know who has the best chance in central Indiana for one of these showers. We'll time it out for you, and we'll take a closer look at your weekend.
All right, Matt, thank you. We will check back. In the meantime, the latest headlines now. A motorcyclist is in critical condition this afternoon after crashing into a semi on the southeast side. Police tell us the crash happened around 10:15 last night on Keystone Avenue near Pleasant Run Parkway. IMPD says the cyclist was driving north at a high speed and then hit the rear wheel of that semi as the truck was leaving the Tyson food plant. The motorcyclist, we're told, was not wearing a helmet. The driver of the semi did take an alcohol and drug test per protocol. We're told that is not suspected to be a factor in the crash. One person now is under arrest connected to a string of fires at apartment complexes on the south side in the Greenwood area. Those 911 calls started coming in back to back a little after 8 yesterday morning. They were at 8:01, 8:25, and 8:33 from north to south. The 3 apartment complexes were involved in this. Luckily, no one was hurt, and the fires were mostly contained to the common areas of those complexes. We're told the suspect is 50 years old and is accused of intentionally setting the fires. Now he's facing preliminary arson charges. And we now have the final investigative report into allegations of harassment against a member of Mayor Joe Hogsett's administration and campaign. Our Logan Gay read the report and now today at noon shares the findings and what it means as the city moves forward.
After interviewing 12 people and combing through more than 1,000 documents, the law firm Fisher Phillips found Mayor Hogsett and his administration legally compliant in handling the harassment allegations, but also concluded Thomas Cook repeatedly violated the city county's non-fraternization policy before he was ultimately let go.
What is clear from a matter of policy and good management is that Mr. Cook should have been fired well before he left the enterprise. There is no avoiding this conclusion, and not doing so was a clear lack of judgment.
The law firm also mentioned they were never able to reach Cook for an interview during the investigation.
I wish I could say I was shocked by what we found, but I'm not that shocked that we didn't really hear anything from this. I went into this very skeptical that we would actually get anything done, and I wish we could have had a better outcome for the survivors.
Even though this is the final report for the investigation, the members of the committee say the true work begins now as they review the document and hope to make future policy changes.
When it comes to city government and city employees, protecting people and making sure we have a safe work environment is absolutely critical.
The final report's recommendations include establishing an independent HR board, appointing an inspector general to investigate possible city-county policy violations, and updating all anti-harassment training and reporting systems.
We just want to emphasize the need for a true independent HR system and process.
Mayor Hogsett responded to tonight's final report, saying he will work with the City County Council to create a safer, better workplace for everyone. In Indianapolis, Logan Gay, 13 News.
And the city of Indianapolis now is requesting an additional $300,000 to cover the final cost of that law firm's investigation. The council is expected to vote on that funding next month. The official obituary for Jim Irsay is now out, and this comes ahead of the private memorial service that is planned for this coming Monday. The team released the obituary yesterday, and it takes a look back at his career with the team and also the impact he made on the game of football and the city of Indianapolis. It also drilled into the Kicking the Stigma initiative. That's something that Irsay launched late in 2020. The obituary went on to say, quote, "In recent years, Jim also took the brave and monumental step of publicly sharing his own personal journey in hopes of ending the stigma surrounding mental health and inspiring others to seek help. While many hide the challenges they've experienced, Jim declared himself an open book and sought to empower others by courageously sharing his own story." We have posted the entire obituary for you right now online at WTHR.com.